afternoon, everyone. This is Tony from her Homestead Skills, and today what we're going to do is can up a fresh batch of French fried potatoes in wide-mouth jars. And I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to go out and see if I could find some pickle crisp, because a few subscribers have suggested that perhaps adding some pickle crisp might make them a little bit firmer. Don't know if it needs it, but what I'm going to do is, if I do find it, I will do an experiment where I will use pickle crisp in half the jars and not in the other half, to see if it makes any difference. And once those are canned up in wide-mouth jars, I will do a fry-up. I've had a number of people ask me to do a video on how I cook them, you know, how they fry up, so that they can get an idea of what the end result is. So that is the intention of this video. So we'll see you when it's all ready. Okay, so just like in my last video where I cut all the French fries first, we're going to do that right now. And I do have this set up to the smallest cut, which of course makes it a little trickier. Okay, so I'm going to cut all these before we proceed to can them again. Okay, when this is all done, we'll get back to you. Okay, so a 10-pound bag does fill up 7 quart jars quite nicely. And I'm not going to go through the whole process of canning. I'll give you a link to the other video where I go through that whole process if you're interested. I'm just preparing these jars so that we can do a test fry up for everyone. So anyway, I did not find any pickle crisp, so these are all being canned without it. And I'm just waiting for some hot water to boil. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to each jar. I've got my canner on, and then I'll just get them in the canner and pressure cook them for the required time. I'm going to have to check what that is. Okay, just a quick overview of the process. I've got the potatoes in. I've got a teaspoon of non-iodized salt in there, and the potatoes were just washed in cold water, and I have boiling water on the stove to fill these. I am not going to blanch these potatoes at all. I know some people blanch their potatoes before they pressure cook them, but I think that just makes them a little too soggy, or it would have the tendency to do so. So at this point, I'm just going to fill these up with water to about 1 inch of head space. And I may need to get a second pot of water on the stove for this. And then we'll debubble, clean the rims, put the lids and rings on, and we'll pressure can. So that's just a quick overview of the process. And then we'll have material to work with to do a fry-up. Okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, once again, just a quick recap. Now I've got all my 7 quart jars full, and they're going to go into the boiling water. The water is hot, and we are going to pressure can these for 40 minutes. Now I put the canner to the front so that I can better, I don't have anything else going on, so I could use the front burner for this, which will make it easier for me to deal with. Okay, and the canner does hold just 7 quart jars perfectly. So that's the recap. We will now can those for 40 minutes. I'll put the lid on. Once again, if you want to know the whole process, we'll give you a link to the other video that explains it all to you. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, so I have a newly sealed jar of potatoes. rinse it off. In cold water. And let it drain. Okay, and after draining my potatoes, I want to dry them out just a little bit. So I've spread them out on paper towels so that we're not dealing with a lot of water when it goes into the hot oil. I've also got a pot with some lard heating up. Well, it's not heating up yet, but it will be when the chicken is ready. So I'm not going to cook them just yet. That gives time for the potatoes to drain some liquid as well. So there we have it for now. Okay, I put a test strip in there and it's frying away. So it's time to put all the chips in. Gently. And at this point, I try not to touch them. Because normally I would have stirred them to allow them to brown evenly, but these are very delicate and I just leave them alone and let them brown on their own. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is open up a can of corn. And I haven't shown you me canning corn this year because I had tons from the year before. And what I like to do with the corn is add a spoon of honey. Not necessary, but it just makes it a little tastier. Now, I don't know if other people are more inclined to use an air fryer, or if you fry them up like this for a few minutes, pull them out, and then put them in the oven. I still think they're a little too delicate to do that. So this is the way I'm doing them. I won't pull them out until they are done. Okay. Now if I had a basket, so the only way I'll shape them is like this. If I had a basket, I might shake them the other way, but that seems to be fine. Doing quite nicely. Okay, I'll turn this back on in a few minutes once they're cut and golden. Okay, these are done to my liking. They're crisp and golden. So I'm going to pull them out. Once again, if I had a basket, this would probably make this job a little bit easier. I punch it around for one that I could use. so. And this is my method for now. Okay, we'll take this one off the heat. Add a bit of salt. We have it, 2 servings of French fries. Okay. That's it. Dinner. Thank you for watching.